we go again. This is the 10th time today, the 10th time I've lost myself into the abyss and stared into the void. This is the 10th time my mind has wandered off to another dimension and left my body to rot on the sidewalk. I'm not averse to living, at least I don't think so. I'm not particularly tired, all I've been doing is sleeping. That's actually been the most consistent thing in my life, yet here I am, looking, but not really seeing, listening and not really hearing, feeling, yet not really being. Does this happen to you? Do you sometimes go somewhere and not remember where? Do you fall asleep with your eyes wide open in the middle of the day? All your senses dulled down with no care in the world, and as passers-by brush against you, clueless as to what's happening to you, you stand still, unblinking. Who knows if you're even breathing, but you don't care, you don't know, you've disappeared to nowhere. You've gone to a place where reality simply isn't. Your mind is at rest, or maybe it's simply rotting gradually. I get distracted a lot. Everything around me stimulates my brain and I struggle to focus on one thing only, but when I'm not distracted by the hundreds of weird things that surround me, I disconnect. It's a switch I don't control, and even when I'm aware it's being clicked, I struggle to turn it back. The abyss calls to me, it comforts me. Sometimes I feel myself screaming to stay, but the comfort of nothingness calls and I simply give way. I know I'll come back eventually. I just need a break. Sometimes life is too boring, and the people that surround me drain my energy, and again the abyss calls to me. It's not because I hate them or I find them boring, on the contrary, but sometimes too much is too much and I feel safer not being than I do existing. So I float. I hover between the conscious and the unconscious. I am, but only physically, for my thoughts are no more. A moment of peace, a moment in death, a minute that feels like a second. A moment in death, like sleep. A moment where there is no moment, the escape. The brain in the box has taken a sec. The game is paused because the player is on a break. My internal guide, click disconnect. It's funny fighting against yourself in order to stay present, pulling against the thread that's dragging you away. Don't get me wrong, I wish I could stay every day. I'd love to be at all times, but I've grown too attached to it now. It's like a drug, and I crave it. I crave slipping away. It's a guilty pleasure, like dropping a child off at the park and finally having a break. It's not until I switch back